Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel here on YouTube. And hey guys, welcome back to my channel here on YouTube. And today we're going to be taking a look at the life-size Spirit Halloween Proton Pack replica. Now I've had mine for a while. Like I've actually had mine since I actually pre-ordered it when I first heard about them. I can't remember when that was. I want to say it was back in God. I want to say it was back in like last year. I want to say it was last year. I'm just gonna go with last year. Can't remember the year. Can't remember the date. But I basically pre-ordered this the minute I heard about this coming out from Spirit Halloween, and I've already done a couple of like modifications to it. Um, this is when you first get this pack out of the box, it's gonna look like the 1984 pack. Which is not bad. I love the 1984 pack. Like that's my favorite. That's my favorite version of the Proton pack. No matter what, hands down, that is my favorite Proton pack, the 1984 pack. So, with that being said, and that kept in mind, I still love Ghostbusters Afterlife and the brand new Frozen Empire film that just recently came out. So I just decided one day to convert this pack, my 1984 pack, from 1984 to Ghostbusters Afterlife. But I wanted to do it in a certain way that I don't mess up the look of the 1984 pack. Like I still wanted that 1984 pack, and I also wanted to do an Afterlife pack and a Frozen Empire pack. The only way to actually physically do this is to basically, I had to, in my mind, I had to think of a way to put all the parts that you see on this pack here that are Ghostbusters Afterlife parts. I had to somehow figure out a way to get them on here to where they'll stay on here and look exactly the way I want it to look and not fall off. Because, nobody wants to be walking around a Comic-Con convention or a Halloween event or anything like that with your Proton pack supposedly made up like Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then all your Afterlife parts just like fall off the pack. That would not be cool. That would be, me personally, I would be laughing my behind off if I saw something like that happen to somebody at a Comic Con, you know. But enough about all that. Let's get into the pack's review, and I'm going to show you guys some of the details that I went through when making this pack, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yes, I know there's still a lot of parts that I need to buy for this pack to make it more legit from the films. Stuff like I need the piece right here that goes underneath the iron arm, that famous red switch that you see in Ghostbusters Afterlife on the Afterlife pack, the Spangler pack in the film. I do know I need that. I have not bought that yet. I haven't upgraded that yet. Eventually, I'll get around to doing it, and it's gonna be awesome when I do that. Well, let's just dive right on in into all the details I've got. So first off, also I do know that the camera is like far away off from me when doing this video, so I'll probably go around the pack and grab the camera and like bring it in closer, like zoom in closer to the pack, so you guys would be able to see a little bit more closer in detail to what I have done to the pack. But for now, we're just going to do the video just like this for a little bit, and keep it cool. So first off, anything that you see, like any of these red cables that you see down here on the pack, any of this red tape that you see on here, they are all removable. Like I could actually remove every one of those and refill the 1984 cables in behind it. This right here, this the loom cable that attaches to the front of the pack here. This is all custom made by me. The cable itself is a real cable that I got from GB Fans a while back. But to get that Ghostbusters Afterlife look cable that I want for it, I had to physically go in here and like cut the side of it out on one side of the hose. And what I had to do was I had to take a piece of thick foam and I had to literally like tuck it into the inside of the loom, and I took some bendy wire and it's kind of like put some bendy wire inside the hose, and then just for laughs and giggles, I went ahead and painted the cables because I wasn't too fond of how. No offense to anybody who owns the Afterlife pack from the HasLab team, those packs are really cool, really awesome. But no offense to HasLab or anybody from Hasbro, but you guys kind of cut some corners on doing certain on making certain parts for the pack. For instance, when you guys made this cable right here, all the cables that are sticking out from the all the wires that are sticking out from the hose, they're all black. And I don't think, in general, naturally, I don't think you would see that on a pack. Like anything to do with cords and electricity and stuff like that, they normally have color-coded cords on a lot of stuff. So I basically just, like I said, I put my own cables and wires in it, and then I painted the wires to give it a more, I don't know, I guess a more cool look to it or something like that. I don't really know. But and I know this right here, the booster tube ladder, that's a replica piece that I got from Etsy, I believe it is. I got it from a cool seller on Etsy. It's all made out of 3D print. This is actually a one-to-one scale. This is actually a one-to-one scale pack booster tube ladder that I actually had to cut down to size for the booster tube on this one because it was a little too big to go on here. But it was a little too big to go on here, but it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. What you can do if you don't do your pack like I did mine, you can actually find there's a really cool seller on Etsy who actually has a life-size proton pack booster tube ladder for this, and it's already like machine cut and everything to the correct size. So don't be like me. Don't be like me and just like take certain parts and like randomly cut them down to size and make them fit onto your pack. Don't be like me like that, okay? The only reason I did it is because at the time that I was making these parts from Ghostbusters Afterlife to fit on the pack, there wasn't a whole lot of sellers on Etsy at the time making 3D props from Ghostbusters Afterlife or Frozen Empire on there. So I basically just like went online and did like a shopping spree and got some stuff from like Etsy, eBay, and stuff like that. But some of it was like full size parts, and I basically just kind of like had to like cut them down and trim them down to fit on here. But that's what I did. That's what I did with that. In the future, I'll probably just upgrade this anyway and get the life size Spirit Halloween pack ladder to go right there. But for now, this works fine. What else? I do know the reason that my cables, or the cables for the booster tube, are not attached onto the booster tube just yet is because I don't have another HDA. Look at me getting names wrong. It's because I don't actually have. I need another clipper valve cover to go right here. The one I have on there now is made to look like the 1984 cover for the clipper valve down there. So I don't want to mess that up in any way. So until I get like a second version of the clipper valve cover, once I get the second version of that, I'm gonna go back in there and like actually attach my cables to that clipper valve cover with like real screws and stuff like that to hold it in place down there on the bottom, and then on the top part up here where the booster tube is actually at, I'm just gonna hot glue the cables to it so that it's not like, because I don't want to drill any holes into the booster tube or anything like that. I'm still trying to keep this pack as a 1984 pack / Ghostbusters 2 pack / Afterlife / Frozen Empire. So, again, in order for me to do that, I cannot drill any holes, unnecessary holes, into the pack. So, moving on. Here is my replica version of the yellow cable from Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's not 100% screen accurate, but I feel it's okay. I feel it's alright. I'm not quite sure what kind of cable that really is that I'm using for that cable. I think it's I want to say it's like a piece of a cable that you would put underneath like a sink in a bathroom. Because for one, it's not big enough like the one out of the actual film, and also it's made entirely out of metal, which I believe the one in the movie is not made out of metal. It's made out of like some kind of like a fabric, like it's like a fabric sleeve that goes over cables. There is a lot of people that are selling these the replica parts that you can buy. You can buy them from like anywhere like Etsy, eBay, GB Fans I think has them on there too now. Um, but at the time that I did my pack, I couldn't find that part. So I was like, well, what would be? I kind of thought about it for a second. I was like, well, what would be the best cable to find to use to do this? So I was looking around in like Lowe's and Home Depots one day, and I came across that particular cable, which is like a metal-like cable sleeve. Well, it wasn't. It's not actually a sleeve. Like, I actually bought the full kit. It was a full kit. They had the screws and everything with it. That lets you attach it to your sink in the bathroom. But I didn't use any of those extra parts. All I really wanted was the cable part that came out of the set. And once I got it, I just kind of opened it up, cut it, trimmed it, fluffed up the edges so it looks like it's all torn and frayed there at the top. And then I kind of like, because the whole piece itself was like metal looking, I just kind of like went in and like dry brushed it with I just kind of like went in and dry brushed it. That was weird. My earpiece fell out of my ear. But I basically just kind of like went in and like dry brushed it out of with some yellow paint. Because the cool thing about this is kind of like a free modification. You know, I wasn't really expecting that after I painted it. But because the whole piece itself was like metal, and I painted it yellow, it kind of gave me this really cool like dirty, grungy look to it, like it's been sitting in the weather for so long. So that was kind of like a cool free upgrade for that one particular part. What else? And then down here on the bottom, for this red cable right here, this is the coolest cable on here. Like I can't really explain how I really did this. I just kind of like on a whim had an idea, and I didn't know if it was going to work at the time. And then after it was all finished and done, it worked, and I was like, well, okay, that's awesome. I'll do that for the rest of the cables. So what I did to this one down here on the bottom, this red cable that connects to the cyclotron lid, I do have real metal connectors here that uses a flathead screw, like you see out of the actual Afterlife movie. Those, I think I found those at Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. But I never did it. They really didn't cost that much either. Like I think they were like $15 for them in a set. It came like in a set of like 20 or 30 pieces for like $15. So I still have like extra versions of those lying around my house, although I only needed 2 for the pack. But and again, you got some more of this red electrical tape down here to represent the those red tapes that was on the hoses in the actual film. Again, those could be removed. That is the coolest thing about all my hoses on here. Anything that you see with the red electrical tape on it or the blue electrical tape, all that stuff could be removed. And all I really had to do to make that work like that is I took a piece of thin foam and a hot glue gun, and I kind of rolled the foam up and hot glued the side down, and then I took my red electrical tape and rolled it all the way around the foam piece, and I kind of like snipped at the edge of the cable connectors down here. I kind of snipped them just a little bit so I could like remove it from the connector, and then basically I just kind of like slipped my custom-made red tape over that, and they actually just moved. They turn around, twist around, and move around on those cables. So I could actually remove them, which is what I want all along, which is pretty cool. So those are actually removable. So I could actually switch those out and make it like the 1984 pack again later on. And I'm also later on going to do an upgrade on the ribbon cable. I'm going to do an upgrade on the ribbon cable in the near future as well. This is still the original Spirit Halloween cable that came with it. It's not bad. It's like it's kind of got this. It kind of has like this weird like GB2 color, but it's not quite the exact color. It kind of feels like it might be something you would see out of like a, I don't know, maybe out of like Ghostbusters, the cartoon series, something like that. Because in a cartoon they have to like brighten the color up. They have to like brighten the picture up and make it look decent enough to be seen on picture. Um, but in the future, I'm gonna get the replica. I'm not sure if I want to get the. I want what I want to do with the cable. What I want to do with the Ripper cable is I want to get like either a GB fans one cable or a GB2 cable. I'm thinking I'm going to just like order one of each so I can have both of them to use and like switch out later on the pack. I do have a real ribbon cable clamp down here as well. I got that off of GB fans years ago too as well. And also I got real screws holding on the booster tube up here to the booster tube at the top and at the bottom. So it's really easy for me to switch out the cables and the from the cables down there. What else? What else? What else? I did replicate this loom down here on the bottom that goes to one of the beam lines. I'm using fabric tape for some of the for some of these tape mods on here, just because it's fabric tape, and when you paint fabric, the tape will stay the same color no matter what rain, shine, or snow, or whatever. It all looks the same if you're using fabric tape. So originally this fabric tape was actually green, like olive green, but I painted it black to simulate the actual look of the cable that's on there. I also used it up here on the wand as well. I don't know if you can see that in the shot, but I also used the exact same tape up here on the top of the gun of my wand, which is olive green tape, but it wasn't the correct color that I wanted. So I basically, like, it was the color of this hose right here, the green hose, but I wanted that I really wanted that military look color, so that's what I went with. I basically just took this tape, rolled it around the handle, and painted it my version of the olive green color, and it came out great. It looks exactly like it does in the film. What else? I also have a replica shotgun grip mod down here on the front barrel of the HasLab one. And yes, this is the HasLab one, but this is not the Spengler one from Ghostbusters Afterlife that Hasbro put out a while back. I had two of those, and for some reason they just went out on me. Like they just quit working. So I decided to pick this one up. This is the 1984 style version, which I love. I love this one a lot better than the other two. I love everything about it. Like it didn't go out on me. For one, it didn't go out on me, so that's a plus in my book. So it still works like brand new out of the box. It's the 1984 one. Who doesn't love Ghostbusters, the 1984 one, right? So because it's the 1984 one, though, I was still trying to make this pack the Ghostbusters Afterlife pack. So I was like, I need Afterlife parts to go in this pack. So, but if you look around on Etsy, there's a really cool seller on Etsy who actually owns like a 3D printer, and he prints a lot of his own stuff out, like action figures, Ghostbuster props. He has a lot of Ghostbuster props on there. Like he has this right here. It's a 3D print grip, and for the 1984 one, he's got stuff like the loom connector right here. My connector on here is actually a replica version of it from like GB fans, but you could actually get a 3D version of this straight from him on his page. They would basically do the same thing that I do with mine. Like mine's is basically I just hot glued it in place. So you can do the same thing with yours if you get the 3D printed one. But mine is actually the real thing. I got that like years ago, and I was planning on building a real pack in the future, but I didn't have all the parts I needed, and it was taking a lot more money than I thought to put into the pack. So I just kind of stopped all production on the replica one that I had. And when I found this and got this, I was like, well, I have parts that I could put on it, so let's just put those on there. And that's what I did. What else? The bellows down here is the original bellows from the they came with this pack. I'm still looking into maybe upgrading it and putting like a smaller version of it on here, but at the moment I just kind of kept it on there and I weathered it. You know, got a little bit of weathering on there. Also down here in the cyclotron lid, inside the pack, I have replica red acrylic lenses in here. I got those off of GB Fans like years ago, but those are the real red acrylic lenses in here. What else? Trying to think. Yeah. That's pretty much almost all I could say about this pack, other than I did weather and make this wand a little bit, to my likings. I did put some different banjos on here. Let me see if I can get this off of here. I do have, here's the wand, and it's, here's the wand. This is my version of the replica wand from Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm going to see if I can come around to the side and get in the shot a little bit better to show you guys the wand a little bit better. So give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, there we go. There we go. So now I'm in the shot a little bit better. Here's a close-up of the wand. Here's my replica banjos. I don't know if you can see that really good. But here's the replica banjos. I got real replica screws in it. They're just like out of the film. Here's the close-up of the grip, the 3D print grip, if you can see that. So there's that. I guess I'll just zoom in here, you guys, so you guys can see some more of the parts. So there we go. I'll put that back on there. So I guess I'm just gonna like zoom in here, you guys, so you can see more of this pack a little bit better. Let's get a closer look at this. So here's a closer look at the pack. This is a closer look at the pack. Closer look at the wand. Quick knob. This is all my wires, cables, connectors, stuff like that. The cyclotron lid, bumper, all of that. There's the close-up of the wand. Close-up of the wand. I'm going to come around to the side here. Let's get a side view of it. And yes, I do have a replica clipper file sticker right there that I put on there. I painted that red button right there to be exact. So I guess we'll just Alright, so I guess, let me see if I can get back into the shot here. Trying to get back into a shot, you guys. Stand it up just a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. Here's a side view of it with the gun and everything on it. Here's another side view of it. Get a little closer into the shot, into the frame. Right. I guess from this point on, I'm just gonna like cut the pack on and show you guys what this bad boy does. And yes, I do have real replica proton pack lights in here. The blue power cell and the 4 red cyclotron lights that really operate in the pack. So that's pretty cool. And I also have a replica Alice frame on here as well. I have a LC1 frame on here with the real replica straps and everything. So we're gonna flip it on.